advise those of you who are joining us, first of all, that we'll have a trivia question for you this evening sometime before the first half ends. And if you can call and give us the proper answer, we're going to award you a free pizza from Hollywood All Night Pizza, one of our fine sponsors of our basketball broadcasts, and we certainly thank them for their participation. As you look at the ACS huddle right now, we get a welcome from the PA announcer to the gymnasium, and we're about to have our national anthem, the presentation of the colors, and the introduction of the lineups. Here are the starting lineups for first of all, for Homer. Number 10 is Chad Carpenter. And Chad Carpenter is wearing number 14. Number 12 is Jim Holcomb. Joel Liebel, number 24. Here's number 44, Gary Sneed, being introduced. And now the ACS Lion. Number 1 ranked team in the state. Here's Vinaldo Butler. Here's Ross Moore. John Laverty. Chris Bussey and William Cunningham. That is the starting lineup tonight, as Alan Prevost, or Butler, will start in place of Alan Prevost again tonight. Prevost still favoring that ankle. And now the presentation of the colors. And we'll also have the national anthem being played by the ACS Pep Band.
Westerly flow aloft keeps dominating our weather.
A few announcements being made right now of in the front. And now the evening prayer.
And the salvation he's provided for us through Calvary. And Lord, we thank you for him and the eternal life that he's given us through that shed blood that he shed on the cross of Calvary. Guide and direct each team member tonight, each one of these young men, Lord, that they may play to their excellency tonight. Lord, that we may see a good game. Lord, that your name might be honored and glorified. We ask these things in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
International anthem. Nice rendition of our national anthem by the ACS Pep Band, and as the floor is being cleared, we're ready to get underway here at the ACS Gymnasium tonight. I'd like to remind you that this telecast is intended solely for the private home entertainment of our viewing audience, and any broadcast, retransmission, or any other form of broadcast of this telecast without the express written consent of Channel 20 K20AG television is strictly prohibited. We got that out of the way. We can get down to B-ball, Al.
Okay, Chuck, here we go, folks. I'm looking forward to this. Number 1 and number 2, I believe, in the state.
Number 1 and number 2 in the state, ACS and Homer, respectively, in Class 3A basketball, and Homer has got some size.
Well,
this is the biggest team ACS has faced this year, Al.
This should be a good one.
Face-off at center court, tip-off controlled by Ross Moore of ACS. Got a foul called right away. Foul goes against number 34, Josh Friedman. Excuse me, number 42, Rick Engebretson. So Engebretson commits the first foul for Homer. Cunningham with the basketball on the baseline, kicks it back out to Butler. As we mentioned, Butler starting in the place of Alan Freebo here tonight. Cunningham will set the play from the top of the key. This is Butler down to the corner. Back out to Ross Moore to Cunningham. His shot, no good, and the whistle and a foul underneath. A push was called underneath on an ACS player. Let's see who it is.
Chuck, I think it was 3 seconds on Chris Bussey right there.
All right. Check that on the 3-second call, and it was not a foul. Homer with the basketball now. This is number 12 is James Holcomb. Stolen by Bussey inside as they try to force a pass into the big guy, Gary Sneed. And I haven't seen these Homer kids play yet this year, but you've got to think that they're going to try to get the ball into Sneed every chance they get.
No doubt about it. The young man stands 6'10". He's got long arms, so he should be able to do a lot inside with that ball this evening.
Liebel looks like he's about 6'6" or 6'7" also. Here's the try to pass into Sneed. Cunningham ties him up.
Alternate possession right there. It was a jump ball situation between Cunningham and the big fella for Homer.
Liebel with the inbound pass. This is Chad Carpenter. And the shot by Liebel won't go. And Homer with the possession under the basketball. Again, Joe Liebel will hit the inbounds pass. This is Chad Carpenter with the basketball to Holcomb. Into Sneed. His shot goes down, but it will not count as the whistle was blown before the play. Laverty goes down hard for ACS. Foul is on Laverty. That's his first personal of the evening. Rebound comes off to Butler. Butler to Bussey. He wants to get the shot away and just can't quite make up his mind to do it over the big 6'10" Sneed. Here's Butler again. Inside to Bussey. This time he will take the shot. Can't get the roll. Rebound off there to Chad Carpenter. Carpenter to Holcomb, and a travel called on Carpenter before he could get the basketball off. No score in the ball game. We've played over a minute and a half. We still have not put a point on the board. Butler across the 10-second line for ACS to John Laverty. Inside to Cunningham. He gets knocked down. And we've got a foul called against Homer. Foul is on Chad Carpenter. Carpenter, a junior. Interesting situation with the Homer Ball Club, Al. They do not have a senior on their entire ball club.
Well, if they don't have any seniors, they got juniors and sophomores. They're going to be a team to reckon with.
They are starting 3 juniors and 2 sophomores, and they are going to be very tough next year, as ACS starting 5 seniors this year will be decimated a little bit next year. So Homer looks like they may be the class of the 3A next year. Foul is called on Rick Engelbretson, and he comes out of the ball game as he commits his second foul in just slightly under 2 minutes. Laverty can't get the short shot to go down, and John Laverty continues to have problems with that little 2-3 foot jump shot off the board. Butler on a foul as he reached in.
Chuck, we have number 34 now in for the Homer ball players.
Josh Friedman. This is Carpenter on the point. Inside to the big guy Sneed, overthrew him, out of bounds. ACS basketball. Still no score, and we have played almost 2.5 minutes in the ball game. Cunningham with the basketball for ACS, off Laverty's hand and out of bounds. Now John Liebel in the ball game. We had mentioned that the Liebel brothers have a sister who plays on the varsity for Homer.
Well, it's a basketball family.
You'll see that game Tuesday night. So we've got Joe and John. They are both sophomores, and they are twins, we are told. Foul now goes against Butler. Prevost now comes into the ball game to replace Butler as he comes out. Butler has 2 fouls quickly. This is James Holcomb with the basketball. Excuse me. Yes, James Holcomb with the basketball. He tries to get it over to John Liebel. And out of bounds, turnover to ACS. Prevost in the inbound to William Cunningham. He's the point guard. He's the field general. He'll set the play. Tipped away, saved by a Homer player, but it'll go out of bounds underneath the Homer bucket, and William Cunningham will again take Prevost's inbound pass and bring it down for ACS. This is Prevost now. Ross Moore inside to Laverty. His shot good. John Laverty with a nice power move to the bucket.
It's a good move. He moved right over, took the ball right up against the glass, right up against Mr. Sneed there. So they're going to take it inside of the big man.
And we played 3 minutes before we got a point on the board. Homer still does not have a point. Rebound comes off to Laverty, but he loses it out of bounds, and it'll go to Homer under their basket. So a break for the Homer boys. Holcomb to Liebel. Inside to the big guy, Sneed. Turnaround jumper, no good, off the board. And Cunningham and Liebel, Joe Liebel, fight for the rebound. Joe Liebel gets the foul. So for him, that's the first on the evening. And Prevost will inbound again to Cunningham. 2-0. We have played 3.5 minutes in the ball game. We've only scored 2 points, those 2 points being scored by ACS. Very unusual in the fact that no points have been scored.
Well, Chuck, it's a filling out process right now. They want to see what they can do inside ACS against the Mariners. Shot by Cunningham.
Cunningham jump shot goes. 4-0 ACS. Liebel with the ball to Holcomb, stolen by Cunningham, but he loses it out of bounds.
Into the game for the Mariners, number 14, Carpenter.
Chad Carpenter back into the ball game now for Homer. James Holcomb signals the play to his teammates from Homer. Pass underneath the bucket, foul by Chris Bussey, I believe, as he hammered Josh Friedman.
Fouls on number 44. Chris Bussey is first. 14 foul. Shooting at the line for 2, number 34, Josh Friedman.
So Josh Friedman will have an opportunity to put the Homer boys on the board from the free throw line. Let's see if he can do it. He does. 4-1 now in favor of ACS. Friedman has an opportunity to double the score for Homer. Let's see if he can make it 4-2. Can't get the roll. Rebound off to Liebel. His shot up, no good. Tipped by Liebel again. This time it goes down. Joe Liebel. 4-3 ACS. William Cunningham. Prevost to Laverty moved to the bucket. results in a foul call on, I believe, number 34. That's who they're looking at in underneath. Let's see how they call it. It is number 34, and that's Josh Friedman.
Josh Friedman is first.
Number 1 for Josh on the night.
And in the game for the Mariners, number 52, Sean.
Here comes Sean Joslin. He is a sophomore. He's only a sophomore. Bailey, Joslin, Liebel, both Liebels, and Sneed, all sophomores. As Laverty makes good, makes it 5-3. Holcomb, Ingebrigtsen, Carpenter, and Friedman, the juniors on this ball club, and as we mentioned, not one senior.
They're going to be tough in another year, too. They're tough already, being number 2 in the state.
Well, as you saw, Laverty made good on both free throws. 6-3 now, ACS. Full court press being applied by the ACS boys. Cunningham tips it away to Laverty. Steal. Here comes Cunningham on a drive to the bucket. His shot off the glass, no good. Tipped back to Cunningham. He gets his own rebound. William calling Chris Bussey out to the high post.
34.
Prevost to Laverty in the corner. Laverty is almost tied up. Now Prevost loses the basketball, finally picks it back up again and gets it over to Ross Moore. Cunningham with a fake in the shot. Can't get it. High in the air for the tip is Laverty. Laverty will go to the line as he was fouled on the tip. Two-shot foul being called. The foul is on Sean Joslin. Josh Friedman back in the ball game now for Homer. Laverty makes good. That's 3 for 3 on the night for him, I believe.
That's correct, Chuck.
Let's see if he can make it 4 for 4. Can't get it. Rebound off to Carpenter on Homer. Carpenter to Holcomb. Liebel to Holcomb. His shot, no good. Rebounded by Prevost. He's got more. More to the bucket. Nice shot by Ross Moore. Traveling call before the shot. No bucket.
Nice pass by Alan Prevost into Moore, but should have let him, couldn't have lead him just a little bit closer to that basket, but it was a walking violation or traveling.
When you're going for the bucket like that and they get the pass a little bit ahead of you and you're behind you and you got to go for it, you are hung out to dry, my friend. There's just not a whole lot you can do because you don't have room to dribble.
Okay, we have an official's timeout right here, right now.
I believe the official has got a little problem with some of his
equipment,
apparel, if you will. And now that we've got the problem solved, get the cameras on him.
His shoestrings were untied.
All right, here's Carpenter.
What Bill Cosby used to say, just hold your head, right?
Here's Carpenter with the inbound. Well, it had to do with an accessory.
Okay.
On some of the officials' clothing.
We'll leave it at that, folks.
William Cunningham on the inbound to Prevost. Alan Prevost across the center line for ACS. Moore tries to get it inside to Laverty. An ill-advised pass as one of the Homer players was standing right in front of Laverty. Kicks it away. This is Holcomb. Holcomb can't get around Cunningham. Now finally drives the baseline, but can't get the shot away from there as he had an impossible angle to the bucket from where he was. Get a foul called on Prevost now.
Alan,
1 minute.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Chuck. Alan just tried to cut him off at the baseline there, and he just couldn't get position in there.
1 minute and 51 seconds remain in the first quarter, and if you can believe this, the score is 7-3 in favor of ACS. Sounds like a football score that we should see tomorrow. Holcomb's shot no good. Laverty tips it out of bounds. It'll go back to Homer. Oh my goodness, now they say no. I apologize for that. It looked as though Laverty tipped it out. Now in the ball game, Ron Hoffman. Scramble for the ball, and Cunningham comes away with it.
But he was calling an over and back right there.
Liebel will inbound to James Holcomb. Inside to Liebel, his shot no good. Way in the air for the ball, Sneed, and he puts it back in. Sneed gets his first 2 points of the evening. 7-5 ACS. Free ball out to Hoffman at the point. Cunningham will take the jumper, no good. Rebounded by Liebel. Long pass down court, wide open Friedman. He'll make the shot and tie the ball game. 50 seconds remain as the score is now tied 7-7 here in the first quarter. Hoffman to Prevost. Prevost will take the shot, no good. Rebound to Friedman. Here's Holcomb with the ball on the sideline. Drive to the key to Campbell. His shot no good. Carpenter. This is Joe Liebel with the long shot puts Homer up in front. 9-7.
Basket was good. There's a foul. It was a push by Mr. Sneed on the Homer boys. So he drew the foul right there.
Sneed draws foul number 1 on the night. We've got a timeout. First quarter action continues in just 1 minute.
Wild about Anchorage, nothing can change my mind.
Anchorage, that's our community. From Eklutna to Portage, it's an eyeful. It's eventful, historical, theatrical, coming at you from all sides. A zillion things to see and do all year round. To help make visitors as wild about Anchorage as we are, send them to the Anchorage Convention and Visitors Bureau log cabin to pick up a visitor's guide and get
Wild about Anchorage.
While we have a minute, we'd like to remind you that there is a special program on Channel 20 on Tuesday and Thursday nights. It's called Homework Hotline. It's a live call-in show produced by the Anchorage School District. Homework Hotline airs every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Volunteers teachers will be on hand to help students of all grade levels and activities. Questions are answered on the air or over the phone, and the intention of Homework Hotline is not to give the students answers, but to help them in the problem-solving process. So if you're interested in Homework Hotline, call 276-8011. The phone line's open at 4:30. Tuesday and Thursday night from 5 to 6 on Channel 20, Channel 37 on Multivision's Homework Hotline. Call 276-8011. Phone line's open at 4:30 p.m.
Well, Chuck, I tell you, this is exciting. We're seeing the number 1 and number 2 in Class AAA, and you couldn't ask for a better matchup so far.
Chris Bussey to the line for ACS now. His team trails by 2. He'll try to cut that deficit. 9-8, and Bussey has a chance to tie it. Tie ball game. Timeout, I believe, is called. No, now I'd say no. I thought I heard a whistle in a timeout. Homer will have the basketball under the ACS bucket on the inbounds. ACS with a full court press. 22 seconds remain in the quarter. This is Holcomb back to Liebel to Carpenter. They've got to get it across the line. They finally do in about 8 or 9 seconds. This is Holcomb. He drives the key, can't get the shot away, retrieves the tip away in the corner. 5 seconds, Holcomb shot off the board, and time runs out in the quarter as they battle for the rebound. So we are through 1 quarter of action at the ACS Gymnasium here in Anchorage. The score, well, it's deuce. The ACS players, the boys varsity and the Homer varsity, well, they are tied at 9 apiece. We'll be back for second quarter action right after this word.
What do you think of when I say homeowners insurance?
High premiums.
Then you should call a State Farm agent.
I should?
State Farm's built a reputation on low rates, and chances are your State Farm agent can beat the price of your current homeowner's insurance.
I'll call.
Great service, saving you money. They're both part of a State Farm agent's job.
Hi, I'm Art Mathias. See me for the best rates and service on all your insurance needs.
Second quarter action as we start the 8-minute second quarter. 8 minutes in each quarter in high school basketball. 9-9 the score. Both teams with 5 fouls. They are both in the bonus situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, during the halftime, the Blues Original will be making a special presentation for your entertainment. Don't miss it.
And we have just had the announcement that there'll be some halftime activities and a special presentation. We will try to pick that up for you at halftime if we can. Ross Moore with a shot. Good. Ross Moore.
That was a three-pointer by Ross Moore, so that really gave the ACS Lions a good lift right there. Nice shot from the top of the key.
Inside to Sneed, off the board, can't get it. Foul is called on Chris Bussey. That's Bussey's second on the night. Both of the young men that play in the pivot, Sneed and Bussey, were both wearing number 44. So it makes it a little interesting when there's a foul called, because you have to wait. We're not really sure who it's going to be. Sneed's shot no good, rebounded by William Cunningham. He's bumped by one of the Homer players, but he recovers in time. That was Rick Engelbretson that ran into him. Cunningham with a shot. Laverty with a rebound inside. Can't get the shot up. Checked away hard by Liebel. Laverty will go to the free throw line as the foul call goes against Rick Engelbretson. Now checking back into the ball game for Homer, Josh Friedman. And Engelbretson will come out as he commits foul number 3, so he's going to get a rest, and now I would suspect we won't see him again in the half.
I doubt it, Chuck. They're going to save him at least for the beginning of the second half, around the third quarter, bring him back in.
Laverty continues with his hot free throws. He is now 4 for 5. And Laverty makes it 5 for 6. Well, there's a coach in the Pacific Northwest who has had a very, very successful record at the University of Puget Sound. His name is Don Zeck, and he has a rule that when any of his players get 2 fouls, they come out in the first half. No matter when it is, they are out of there, and they do not play for the rest of the first half. He will not allow a player to go into the second half with 3 fouls, and he's been very successful with that policy. Darren Tooley in the game for ACS now. Hard contact made between Carpenter and William Cunningham, and Carpenter gets called on a foul.
The only thing I can see about that rule, we've got a timeout right now, Chuck.
Timeout called by ACS, so we'll take a break and come back to you in just 1 minute.
Timeout there.
Hungry? Call now. Hollywood all-night pizza.
Al, you were commenting on a rule.
Playing with a person that has 2 fouls before the second half. I think that's really good because what it does, it not only does it take your ball players that are sitting on the bench the opportunity to play, but it puts kind of responsibility on those guys to realize that, you know, hey, if I know Chuck is going to get 2 fouls and I'm going to come in, I've got to really play hard and practice throughout the week. So when coach looks down the bench and somebody's in trouble, I can go in and still do the job. I'm going to kind of remember that when my coaching opportunity comes back again.
Well, during the ACS girls varsity and the Homer varsity that we taped just prior to this ball game, Chuck did have 7 or 8 fouls because he called Homer Kodiak about 7 or 8 times, and that's a foul on him every time he does that. We're just warning you folks when you see the ball game. I was not real sharp, okay? Here's Cunningham. His free throw just rims out, and a rebound out to big Gary Sneed. This is Holcomb across the center line for Homer. Carpenter to Holcomb again as Homer tries to work the ball for a good shot. ACS has really got the middle clogged up, Al. Look at that. There's 5 white shirts right in the middle as they just don't let him in. Finally, Holcomb gets the shot and he gets the bucket.
Well, they're collapsing on Gary Sneed, and they're dropping. Chris Bussey's falling back onto him, and Laverty and Cunningham, so they're collapsing on him.
They are double and triple teaming Gary Sneed to keep him away from the ball, keep the ball away from him. Tooley with a shot, no good. Sneed up in the battle for the rebound with Moore. And the call going to go against Ross Moore as he pushed off on Sneed in the battle for the rebound underneath. 6:16 left in the second quarter, in the first half, actually. 14-11 ACS. A very, very low-scoring ball game here tonight. Sneed to the line. Sneed takes a long time, then clanks it off the iron. This is Tooley with a rebound. Moore, Holcomb all over him. Ross Moore into Chris Bussey in the high post. Bussey will take the jump shot. Yes, Chris Bussey.
Nice move by Chris underneath. It kind of shot it over the World Trade Center right there. And Sneed, but he got it up and in. 16-11
ACS. This is Liebel. Carpenter to Holcomb. Holcomb on the drive to the baseline, can't get around Laverty, almost loses the ball, then he gets it back out to Liebel. Now into the big guy, Gary Sneed, easy little turnaround jump shot. 16-13 ACS.
For our viewing audience, remember, the big men never put the ball down on the floor. He just took it straight up. Good little offensive move there.
Moore tries to get it to Bussey in the high post, and he can't hit him.
I like to see Mrs. Sneed go up against Skip Townsend and Lenny Toussaint. That would be a good matchup.
Well, it would be a good matchup height-wise, but I am afraid that Mr. Sneed would be at a great disadvantage against either of those guys weight-wise because they are both very strongly built, and he is very slim. Holcomb to Friedman. Friedman tries to drive around Cunningham, and the turnover goes to ACS. Al, I didn't quite catch it. What was the call?
He
get it?
Took the train. He went too fast and did traveling.
All right. So a traveling call goes against Friedman. This is Butler to Laverty. Ross Moore at the top of the key. Butler will take the shot off the mark. No good. High in the air for the rebound, William Cunningham. He puts the shot back in. William Cunningham makes it 18-13 ACS with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the half.
Gary Sneed had his hand all over that ball, but William kept showing the strength and took it right downtown to him.
Liebel tries to force it inside. Bad pass by Liebel. And Butler comes away with it. There were 3 ACS men right around the young man that Liebel was passing to. And now Holcomb reaches around and tips it away from Butler. This is Carpenter. Liebel with a shot, long shot off the glass, doesn't even hit the rim, rebounded by Carpenter. Well, Al, we have not seen quality shot selection so far here tonight in this ball game.
Well, Homer's trying to find something that's going to work for them, and I believe that they just keep trying to work it inside to Sneed. They're going to be a little more successful.
Holcomb again, or Carpenter this time almost knocking the ball away from Butler. Laverty to Moore at the top of the key. Butler wants to get it inside. Cunningham this time will take the shot. He gets it. William Cunningham. The last 4 points for ACS, 2013. Full court press being applied by ACS. This is Liebel. He'll take the jump shot off the glass. Can't hit it. High in the air is Sneed. And he battles under there with Bussey. And as you can see, if you saw that, the battle between Chris Bussey and Sneed, and Bussey just threw him around like he was bulldogging his steer and just knocked him to the ground. As Bussey's so much stronger, even though he's not as tall. Sneed just has to put on some weight if he's going to battle with these big guys underneath. He is too slim to do it. Here's a shot by Holcomb, and he gets it down. Sneed, of course, only a sophomore, so he's got plenty of time to grow and put on some weight.
Plenty of time to grow?
Well, this is this is no rap on him. It's not his fault that he's that thin. We're just simply stating a fact, but he is a sophomore. So can you imagine what he's going to be like in a couple of years? Moore. Ross Moore.
Well, I think if he grows anymore, his folks are going to have to get him a king-size bed if they don't have one now.
Imagine being 6'10" when you're only 15 or 16 years old.
I would love it.
Here's Carpenter. Tries to force it inside. Cunningham comes away with it. An interesting article in the radio the other day, Al. They now have a hormone that they say they can give to kids to make them grow taller and bigger. Here's Bussey. His shot no good, but I would think that's going to induce some greed on the part of some parents to grow some basketball players. I don't know if that's good or not.
That's true, but we got a fellow in the NBA now with the Washington Bullets. 7'8". Oh my.
Oh, he's incredible. You talk about slim. We're talking about Sneed being slim. He makes Sneed look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's William Cunningham. Moore with a three-pointer. Can't quite get it. Just a little bit long. Now Cunningham, I think, is going to get called with a foul as he came in and went over the back of, I believe, Friedman. Let's see how they call it. It is Cunningham that gets called with a foul, and John Liebel, Joe's twin brother, is into the ball game now.
Number 32, William Cunningham is first.
Although Joe Liebel is much taller than John, and they certainly do look like brothers. We have been told that they're twins. We certainly hope that that is a right statement that we are making. They are only sophomores, so it stands to reason. Although one is actually much larger than the other. And now I believe the foul is going to go against Liebel as he came down on the back of Ross Moore. And it is called that way. Friedman out of the ball game now for Homer. So we've got Joe and John Liebel in the ball game. Carpenter, Holcomb, and Sneed. Ross Moore, Butler, Cunningham, Laverty, and Bussey for ACS. Moore's first shot makes it 23-15 ACS with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the half. Rebound to Bussey. His shot again way up over Sneed. No good. Moore fights for the rebound inside, but he gets called for a travel before he can put it down. No bucket.
Well, he was intimidated by Mr. Sneed, so he was trying to move his feet and get out of there quickly.
Bussey is throwing his shot up with more arch than I've ever seen him shoot, and mainly just because of that big, as you said, the tower in underneath there, Al.
Looks like the World Trade Center. He's just a very big fella.
Here is Sneed. He runs into Butler. No call. He makes the shot.
Chuck, I like what he does. He doesn't put the ball down on the floor. He keeps his hands high above his head so he can just get it up there.
Butler trying to kill some time as ACS has the lead in the ball game by 6. No need for them to get a quick shot away as they've got all kinds of time and may just try to run the clock down for one final shot in the half. In underneath to Cunningham. He can't resist that one, but he doesn't use the glass and he doesn't get it. Now the foul call goes against ACS. Darren Tooley back in the ball game now for ACS. As Butler is called for the foul. That's his third foul, and he's going to have to come back out of there as Tooley replaces him. Butler got in foul trouble quick as he picked up 2 quick ones in the first quarter, and now he has his third.
Mr. Sneed is 0 for 2 from the line, so let's see if he can put one down.
Snead's shot no good as instructions come from the Homer bench. No foul, no foul. Prevost. John Laverty, they want a 5-second call on Prevost. They don't get it from the Homer bench, and a check of a shot and a scramble and a bodies hit the floor all over underneath. And now Carpenter gets called for the foul, as he was the one that went down first, and a couple of others fell on top of him. He gets the foul call. That's 3 on Carpenter. So we've got 2 of our guards tonight, Butler and Carpenter, with 3 fouls already in the first half. 24-17 as Moore gets his first one. He'll be awarded another, as both teams are in the bonus situation. Nice shot of Ross Moore at the foul line. Concentration on the face of Moore as he rims his second shot out, rebounded by Holcomb. Another substitution now for Homer. This is Sean Joslin, and he's getting ready to check back into the ballgame. Carpenter out to Holcomb on the point. Holcomb inside to the big guy, Snead. Laverty and Bussey both all over him. I think Laverty is going to get the whistle.
Chuck Holmes doing the right thing. He's just trying to get it inside to the big man. He's just keeping his hands high above his head, and he's just trying to bank it in off the glass. He's going to go to the line again. He's got to kind of hit those little free throws now if he wants to help his ball come out.
Foul call does go against John Laverty, as we suspected. And Snead has drawn a lot of fouls tonight so far on both Bussey and Laverty. Snead, although he is not accurate at the free throw line, at least tonight, he has converted, I believe, 1 L. This is Laverty. What have we got Snead at the line for so far tonight?
I got Snead 0 for 4 from the line.
All right, so he is not converted.
He hasn't hit anything.
Now Joslin gets into the ball game, and for the first time out of the ball game is Gary Snead, so Joslin will replace him. Snead will rest for the balance of the 26 seconds that remain here in the half. Holcomb across the 10-second line. They'll set one final shot. Inside to Joslin, and he tries to get the shot away. Hits the side of the backboard. We got a foul on ACS. I think it's going to go against Bussey.
Well, Chuck, I right now with 12 seconds, you should just take Bussey out right now with 12 seconds left and save him, because he could pick up another cheap one.
Not only that, but with a 24-17 lead, it might have been a good idea for Bussey to just let them put that shot up and not draw the foul, as Bussey now does come out in favor of John Laverty. Joslin's shot no good. He'll get another, as he was in the act of shooting. Joslin's next shot good, 24-18. 8 seconds on the clock. Cunningham, his shot way off the mark. Laverty with a rebound, can't get it. Battle for the ball underneath the boards, and time runs out as we battle for the rebound. So that'll do it for action here in the first half at the ACS gym. We'll come back with second half action in just a minute. The score, the ACS boys 24, the Homer boys 18.
As Miss Rodeo Alaska, I like to look my best all the time. So I shop for my Western wear duds at the Silva Saddle. You guys and gals will find a grand selection. Whether you've got a pocketbook the size of Alaska or as small as Rhode Island, you'll find a price that fits you. There's always plenty of parking for your horse or horsepower. So gallop on over to the Silva Saddle at 8225 Old Seward Highway. That's near Diamond. You'll always walk out a satisfied customer.
Back for second half action, and Al Whitehurst, let's take a look at the scoring for the first half. First of all, for the visiting Homer Ball Club.
Okay, Chuck, for the Homer Mariners there, we have Gary Snead with high points right now at 6, and Joe with Missed Joe's name.
What are you
Okay.
struggling?
Joe Lebo, he has
Joe
4.
Lebo.
Lebo. Joe Lebo has 4. His brother John has none on the book so far. Josh has 3. And Mr. Sneed, he has 1 point. So they're really having a tough time inside getting points right now.
Josh Friedman is the man you're talking about.
Josh Friedman. Okay. And over for the ACS Lions right now, Russ Moore, he has 7. And William Cunningham, he has 6. And John Laverty has 7. Chris Bussey, he has 4, but he's doing a good job inside. But the key factor is Chris has 3 fouls right now going into the second half.
Butler and Bussey both with 3 fouls for the ACS ball club. And so they're going to have to play a little bit more conservatively, I would imagine, in the second half. I'd like to remind you we'll have your trivia question coming up for you here in just a couple of seconds, as we will prepare it right now, and just after we start the second half, as soon as we get a little bit of a break, we'll give it to you. Well, let's do it now if we got time, Al.
Okay. What current state senator once played in the NBA, and what team did he play for?
All right, that's a good one. What current? Well, he's not an Alaska state senator.
Oh, we said
but he is a senator in the U.S. Senate. And so what U.S. senator played in the NBA? What team did he play for? If you think you know the answer, call 349-2031. And we will award you a free pizza courtesy of Hollywood all-night pizza at 343 Benson. Ronaldo Butler back in there to start the second half. William Cunningham, Flaherty, Bussey, and Moore. So ACS has their starting lineup in there to begin the second half, as does Homer. Wide open Butler underneath. Goaltend call on Sneed. Sneed way up above the cylinder to knock the ball away. So that's 2 points for Butler and 2 points for ACS. They lead at 26-18. Good call by the officials on the goaltend on Gary Sneed. Long pass down court by Homer. Tried to get it underneath the Sneed, intercepted by Bussey. That was Rick Ingebretson trying to force the ball inside to Gary. Ross Moore into the big guy. Turnaround jump shot checked away by Sneed. Good check. Ross Moore follows, can't get it, and rebounded off to Carpenter. His pass down to Ingebretson is Ingebretson tries to tip it back in, hits the back of the backboard. That's out of bounds. So it'll turn over to ACS. Holcomb with the pass, not Carpenter. Check that. Butler to Cunningham. Inside to Big Chris. Can't get the shot off the back of the rim. Tough shot by Chris Bussey. Just wouldn't go. Well, we've only had 1 3-point attempt so far in the ball game tonight. It was unsuccessful, so no 3-point shots so far. Ingebretson to Liebel, and he gets called on a travel. Both the Liebel brothers in there now, John and Joe, along with Sneed, Ingebretson, and Holcomb. Ronaldo Butler to the big guy, Chris Bussey. Bussey sets the screen. Butler can't get around it. Butler with a 3-pointer. No good. Cunningham with a rebound. Can't get the shot back up. Laverty gets it back in. Nice work by the ACS boys under the boards as they got 3 rebounds, turned it into a bucket. Butler with a steal. Back out to Laverty. Hits him right in the face with a pass because it was a short, quick pass. Caught Laverty by surprise.
Well, I think John wasn't expecting that. He thought Mr. Butler would take it right to the hoop.
James Holcomb commits his first foul of the evening, and now a substitution in the form of Chad Carpenter, and he'll replace Liebel. John Liebel, if you will, and I assume that you will. Here's Cunningham to Butler. Tipped away by Holcomb. Holcomb tries to get it all the way to the bucket. He's cut off by Bussey, Cunningham, and Laverty, excuse me. Here's Carpenter on the dribble drive to Liebel. Ingebretson can't get the shot off Tipped away by Laverty. He fights for the basketball because it was off his hand last. And in the battle for the ball, it gets turned over to ACS. Cunningham has a couple of words for Butler as he gives him a few instructions as he flips the ball in. Here is William with a basketball all the way across court to Moore. Butler drives the key, knocks down Carpenter, and Carpenter gets the foul. Back in the ball game now, John Liebel, and he'll replace Carpenter, who has committed his 4th foul. Butler to Cunningham. He'll take the shot from the side. No three-pointer. It was not quite far enough. He was standing right on the line when he took it. 30-18. And Al, we were talking at halftime about how tight these two teams came out here in the first half, and they are still playing a little tight, but ACS has loosened up a little bit. They are starting to open it up. And now a timeout called by Homer. We'll take a quick break, come back to finish our discussion in just a minute.
Saving dollars makes good sense. Let House of Dorcas save you money 2 ways. 1, buy quality clothing for school, business, or special occasion at low, low prices. 2, improve your cash flow by placing your unwearables on consignment at House of Dorcas. Incredible prices on gorgeous dresses, gowns, suits, sweaters, coats, and accessories. The House of Dorcas on Old Seward Highway at 79th in the Alpine Center. Stop by today.
Now we've got some discussion between the officials and the Homer bench. I believe we're going to get a technical called on the Homer bench because John Liebel had something to say to the official that the official didn't quite appreciate. So we'll call that for you as we come back. But Al, we were discussing the tightness of these two teams. This is supposed to be the #1 and the #2 ranked teams in the state, and they came out just tighter than a drum. And suddenly now ACS, as we mentioned, beginning to open it up a little bit, but Homer's still tight, and ACS is threatening to blow it away.
Well, Chuck, I think what happened is that Homer found out that they can't get the ball inside the Snead as they thought they would be. Laverty and Bussey and Moore and Cunningham all dropped back on Mr. Snead. They really collapsed on him. And those 3 young men for ACS can get up off the floor. So they're going to have to find another way to get those points inside. They haven't shown us anything from the outside shooting, so they get a little trouble.
So obviously a good game plan by Coach Randy Dunton of ACS. And now no technical foul is called. Obviously, it's just a warning on the Homer bench. Here's Bussey inside. Good shot by Bussey, and Snead just backs off. Tipped away by Cunningham. William all the way to the bucket. Check from behind by Liebel. And it was a good check. He did not make contact that I could see. And it's just an out-of-bounds call. It'll go to ACS. Good call by the officials. Very good call. Cunningham tries to force it into Laverty, and now he falls over the back of Holcomb. No foul called, as Cunningham just rolled right over his back. Moore inside to the big guy, Bussey. He'll put it up against Snead, and Snead this time checks it, and he gets the foul call. And he must have made contact with the body because he made perfect contact with the ball, didn't touch his hand, and he gets the call.
Well, Chuck, I thought Mr. Snead had his hand all over the ball, but as you said, he must have got him with the body, and he drew the foul.
Well, a very pained expression on the face of Gary Snead as he walks off the court. He just can't believe that they called that foul. As you see a good shot at him at the bench right now, being consoled by Coach Gary Arthur, excuse me. Bussey's shot no good. Bussey will try to make it 33-18 and can't quite do it. Rebound to Liebel. And I think the referees, the officials are going to have to watch this game closely, Al, because we've got some tempers flaring out there and a little bit of irritation right now. And I think this, unless the game is called well, things could get a little bit out of hand. Here's a shot by Holcomb. Cunningham to Laverty. Inside to Moore. Nice breakaway inside to to Cunningham. Beautiful play by the ACS boys. Here's Butler. Shot by Butler, good. Scramble for the basketball for Homer, out of bounds. Sneed back in the ball game now, along with Ingebretson, and out comes Friedman and Joslin. Sean Joslin, Josh Friedman out of the ball game for Homer. Holcomb with the basketball on the point, tipped away by Moore and out of bounds. Drive by Liebel and shot good. John Liebel. Nice drive into the key by John. William Cunningham to Laverty. Back to Cunningham now. Alan Prevost getting ready to report in for ACS. Bussey will take it right to the bucket again against the big guy. Can't get the scoop. Rebound off to Cunningham. Bussey is really challenging Gary Sneed out.
Well, he's got to take it to him. Both have 3 fouls. Oh, there was a foul picked up right there by Homer. Joe Liebel.
Butler trying to get the ball into Laverty. A couple of the good Homer players reached inside to try to knock it away, and they caught Liebel. That was Joe Liebel, and that's his 3rd foul of the night. So far in the second half, no fouls for ACS. 5 fouls already for Homer. Laverty to the line, he makes his first one, and in the bonus situation, he'll get his second. So one of the big stories of the second half is the fact that ACS has not committed a foul so far. And yet they are in the bonus situation because Homer has committed 5. Laverty makes good on his second shot.
He's 7 for 7 from the line tonight.
And Al, not a 1. And if you go back and review the tape, I guarantee it, not one of his foul shots has even touched the rim. Gary Sneed just pounds his forehead in frustration as another call goes against the Homer boys, and Cunningham will inbound the basketball. Here's Ross Moore. And finally, well, I think it was tipped out of bounds by Ingebretson, as if he hadn't touched the ball, it would have turned over to Homer. Prevost to Laverty. Inside again to the big guy, and the word has been, let's take it to Gary Sneed, I'm sure, because they're really looking for Chris Bussey.
Gary's just going to have to play tough inside. They're going to have to look for him, too.
Here's Sneed with a shot. Good. Well, that'll make him feel a little bit better, Al, as he gets a little revenge, if you will. Nice fadeaway jump shot by Gary Sneed.
He's got a soft touch for a big guy. Reminds me of Chamberlain that could shoot real well, but once he got to the stripe, he kind of died.
Here's a steal and underneath by Holcomb. Knocked away by Bussey, but a double dribble called on Holcomb as he lost control of the ball. Tried to control it with his left hand and touched the ball with both hands simultaneously, and that's a double dribble. Alan Prevost back out in front to Cunningham, to Prevost. Ross Moore in the corner. Prevost will take the shot. No good. Rebounded to Holcomb. Holcomb will take it all the way to the bucket, coast to coast, and make the shot. James Holcomb. Well, while we've got a minute, let's repeat that trivia question as soon as we get a break, in case we have not had a successful answer so far.
What U.S. Senator, or current U.S. Senator, played in the NBA, and what team is he playing for now?
All right, what current U.S. Senator played in the National Basketball Association, and what team did he play for?
Fouls on number 34.
Foul is on number 34, John Laverty of ACS. If you pizza. 343 Benson. If you have not tried one of Hollywood All Night Pizza's Dishes, give them a call right now and order a pizza before this game is over. They deliver free anywhere in Anchorage. Battle for the rebound underneath. Finally, Joe Liebel puts it down for Homer, and it's 38-28 as the Homer boys start to close the gap.
Well, they're looking inside now for Lebo and Steed. Here's a steal right now and a foul.
Foul, well, the ball was stolen from Ross Moore. And I believe that Moore, in one of those retaliation fouls, just reached back in frustration, tried to knock the ball back away from Holcomb. And Moore got called. Now Fernando Butler ready to come back into the ballgame for Ross Moore. As Moore has picked up his second foul, and Randy Dunton wants to have a talk with Ross Moore. Here, underneath, stolen by Prevost. I didn't even see who they were going to, Al. There was no one there for the pass.
I think he was looking for Holcomb, and Holcomb just backed away from it.
Here's Cunningham with 19 seconds remaining in the quarter. ACS will slow it down and take one final shot, I'm sure. Moore, he'll take the shot. Yes. Ross Moore. Liebel with a shot, no good, as the buzzer goes off as the ball's in the air. Moore took that shot a little bit early, but he had the opening, and with 8 seconds to go, he put it up, and he makes it 40-28 in favor of ACS. So that'll do it for 3 quarters of action here so far tonight. Coming back with 4th quarter action for you in just 1 minute.
Wild about Anchorage, nothing can change my mind.
Anchorage, that's our community. From Eklutna to Portage, it's an eyeful. It's eventful, historical, theatrical, coming at you from all sides. A zillion things to see and do all year round. To help make visitors as wild about Anchorage as we are, send them to the Anchorage Convention and Visitors Bureau log cabin to pick up a visitor's guide and get
Wild about Anchorage.
Entertainment by the ACS cheerleaders here between quarters, and of course, well, the all-familiar figure here at ACS Gym, the Booster Rooster. In front of the ACS cheering section, not a big crowd here tonight, Al, but a very vocal and a crowd that's very much into the ballgame.
Well, I think they've had their basketball fill this weekend, homecoming and back-to-back games. So, but they always have a fantastic support system going for them.
Of course, a big win for ACS last night as they defeated Seward by about 20 points in their homecoming game. And this gym is really decked out. Too bad we can't leave it this way all year. It is beautiful.
Very nice.
Joe Liebel with the inbound to big Gary Sneed. He gets the ball knocked away by Prevost. Sneed wants the foul call, doesn't get it. Here's Butler, and he gets it taken away from him by Holcomb, and he knocks Butler down. As Butler developed the position, put his hands in the air, and Holcomb ran over him. Player possession foul on Holcomb. Not a sound from the Homer bench as they realized that was a good call.
Good move by both players, and Lando Butler just got right back in position.
Here's Butler, tries to drive the key, loses the basketball. Sneed comes away with it. Whistle, let's see what the call is. Call on number 12 on the block. That's James Holcomb. He comes out of the ballgame now. He's got 3. Ronaldo Butler to the line for ACS. He'll try to make it 41-28. Just barely touches the rim of the front. Bussey with a rebound off the glass, but no shot. As we've got another foul called under the bucket. This time it goes on John Laverty as he got a little over-anxious trying to get the rebound.
Well, that's John's 4th one, so he's going to really have to play it pretty secure right now because they do need him, and I bet you he comes out, okay?
Darren Tooley will check in for Laverty. Number 12, James Holcomb, back in the ballgame now for Homer. And out comes John Liebel. Homer with a 5-3 record. They have won 5 and lost 3, and if they don't put it together, they are heading for their 4th loss here so far tonight. tries to get it outside to Liebel. He does, and Liebel puts it down. Joe Liebel. We'll just wait for the drums to quiet before we make too many more comments. Prevost, Butler, Cunningham. All right. Now we can hear ourselves thinking. I forgot what I was going to say, so forget it. Here's Prevost underneath. Butler on the drive. Nice shot by Butler. Oh, my. What a move. As Orlando Butler got shut off by the big guy, and he just reached out and finger rolled it up over and in. Nice move by Ronaldo. Liebel to Engebretson, back in the ball game now. Drive to the key. Nice drive by Rick Engebretson to the bucket.
I check they're going to have to start looking inside with less than almost 6 minutes to go. They're going to definitely need to look inside.
Well, we were talking about their record, of course, which will be 5-4 if they drop this one to ACS. And I would think three-point attempt, Cunningham air ball, rebounded by Sneed. I would think that ACS will really solidify their position as the #1 team in 3A if they win this one here tonight as convincingly as it looks as though they will. I just don't understand it, Al, and I don't mean to be redundant, but I don't understand why this Homer Ball Club looks so tight. They're just not loose out there. They're forcing shots and forcing a lot of passes. And I think that's the main reason that they're having all their problems.
Well, we got a good crowd. You got ACS band. It's homecoming week for the Lions. They just might be tight.
Here's Ross Moore now as he takes the inbound pass from Ronaldo Butler. Cunningham out of the ball game. Prevost in for him. Moore tries to get it to Bussey, knocked away. This is Holcomb. Liebel will take the three-pointer, no good. Gets his own rebound, tries to put it back up. And he stumbled over, I think, Ross Moore. I think Moore got him. It is Ross Moore who gets the foul call, and for him, on the night for Ross Moore, #3. Joe Liebel to the line for Homer. First shot, no good. Well, we will see this Homer Ball Club right back here in the ACS Invitational Tournament, January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We will be bringing that tournament to you. And hopefully a couple of games a day from that tournament will be broadcast. Joe Liebel out of the ball game now. Josh Friedman in to replace him. Prevost to Ross Moore across the 10-second line. Moore tries to drive the corner. They get it. Yes, he does get a travel. Saying the Homer bench was calling for a travel, and they got it.
I thought they were going to come unglued there for a moment.
Ross Moore tried to hold up and just drag the pivot foot.
We got about 5 minutes to go in the ball game, so they need to start looking inside quickly.
Baseline shot rims around and out from Holcomb. He gets his own rebound, puts it back up this time again, no good. High in the air for the rebound, Chris Bussey, as he did a good job of blocking out Gary Sneed. Prevost to Butler. Prevost with a shot, a line drive shot off the front of the rim, no good. And rebounded to the big guy, Gary Sneed. Well, I think some frustration obviously beginning to show on the part of the Homer Ball Club, Al, as they just have not been able to put their game together tonight. Now Sneed, a nice turnaround jumper.
He does have a soft shot.
I know they feel a couple of calls have gone against them, and let's see if they can put it together in the last 4 minutes and 18 seconds, as we have a timeout called. 42-35. They're beginning to close the gap. ACS only leads by 7. Coming back to you in just 1 minute.
The State Farm Family Insurance Checkup can make you feel better, because in today's changing economy, it's reassuring to know where you stand on all your family insurance. The checkup reviews your coverages and needs, includes home, car, life, and health, and it doesn't cost a thing. See your State Farm agent. The checkup will make you feel better, too.
Hi, I'm Art Mathias. See me for the best rates and service on all your insurance needs.
Well, the Booster Rooster commenting with the officials as you see him there, and the shot of the ACS bench, of course. And as we mentioned to you before we started before we took that time out, Homer has closed the gap to 7 points, and now they are most definitely in this ball game as they have just gradually chipped away at that ACS lead that they enjoyed at the half. So let's see if the Homer boys can continue to put it together.
Where they're going to have to get a little more play down inside. And I think they're going to start trying to take it to Lavity's side. He has 4 fouls. Try to get him out real quick.
Full court press being applied by Homer now as this is Cunningham with the basketball. Ross Moore. Ronaldo Butler to Cunningham. Cunningham motions that he wants Laverty in under the bucket.
Well, Chuck, the Mariners have come out now in a man-to-man. They've gotten away from their 2-1-2 zone, so this should be interesting now.
Cunningham to Butler. ACS in the stall game. They are in no hurry to take a shot and do anything but control the basketball and just be content to run down that clock. Chris Bussey comes out to the high post to get the pass. And ACS goes into the freeze. Bussey way outside. And you know they're in the stall when Bussey is outside handling the basketball.
They haven't taken a shot now for a minute, and Cunningham was wide open underneath. They missed him.
Homer wants the 5-second call on Bussey. They don't get it. Laverty wide open. Bussey, short jump shot, no good. Engebretson away with a rebound. This is Holcomb, and he throws it away. Joe Liebel back in the ballgame for the Mariners, and out Josh Friedman. Well, ACS managed to run almost a minute and a half off the clock with that possession. So we have just slightly less than 3 minutes to play. Butler to Moore. Back out to Butler, and they'll try to kill the clock again. This time Moore throws up the shot. Rebound to Chris Bussey, and he gets fouled. Call goes against Rick Engebretson of Kodiak, or Homer. And a timeout called by the Mariners. So we'll just keep it right here. And we'll talk about a couple of other things prior to our 2 minutes and 38 seconds of finishing the ball game. First of all, I'm going to give you our trivia question one more time, and then with about a minute to go on the ball game, we're going to call an end to it. What we want to know for free pizza from Hollywood All Night Pizza, what current U.S. state senator once played in the NBA, and what team did he play for in the NBA? So a two-part question. Also like to remind you about Homework Hotline. This is a live call-in show produced by the Anchorage School District. It airs every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Volunteer teachers are on hand to help students of all grade levels and activity and abilities. Questions are answered on the air or over the phone. The intention of Homework Hotline is not to provide answers for the students, but to help them in the problem-solving process. So if you're interested in Homework Hotline, call 276-8011. Phone lines open at 4:30 on Tuesday and Thursday night. 276-8011, the number to call. As you see in the screen, our clock, 2 minutes and 38 seconds remain. As we get down to about a minute or 30 seconds in the ball game, we'll put that up there again for you and let you watch that clock tick down. Bussey at the free throw line makes it good, and he makes it 43-35. An 8-point lead for the ACS boys. Bussey perfect 2 for 2, 44-35. And now Homer has really got to put a couple of points on the board really quick, Al.
Well, Chuck, they need some three-point plays as well. Steal right there.
Attempt to get the ball into the big guy, and Laverty tips it away. Now we got a foul that's going to go against Homer under the bucket again. Blocking foul is on James Holcomb. Ross Moore will get the free throws. Bonus situation now for the ACS boys, as Homer has committed 5 fouls, ACS only 4. Moore makes good on both of his. The last 4 free throws are made by ACS. They now have an 11-point lead with 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Ronaldo Butler commits the grabbing holding foul, and that's his 5th, I believe. And now they say 4. Butler had, that's correct. Butler had 2 fouls in the first quarter, 1 in the second, and now he is gone until the 4th quarter without picking up number 4. Holcomb shot no good. Rebound to Chris Bussey. Cunningham will just stop and slow it up and set the play. Holcomb over Cunningham's back, no call. This is Moore to Butler. Cunningham on the shot, he forces it, it goes down, it's going to count. Great follow by Cunningham, as he had looked like Carpenter just all over him, just hanging on him. And Carpenter does get the foul, but Cunningham stayed with it and put it down.
Well, Chuck, it shows there that William Cunningham, it really is not so much the shot, but it was the strength in which it helped him.
Shot of Carpenter and Coach Gary Arthur on the bench.
And Williams sunk that free throw. We got a foul right now on William Cunningham, and I believe is going to be his 2nd one on tonight.
William Cunningham is 2nd. In his game to the line, number 20, Alan Frevo.
Frevo now into the ball game for ACS as James Holcomb steps to the line. (49-35), now 49-35 still, as Holcomb misses and Bussey comes away with a rebound. Frevo back to Moore. They've got to get it across that 10-second line, and the foul committed by Rick Engebretson. An unintentional foul, Al.
Well, it was a tough one because he drew his 5th foul, and he's out of the game for this evening. He only had 2 points on the night.
Josh Friedman will replace Rick Engebretson.
Josh Friedman.
Moore will attempt the shots for ACS. Five consecutive free throws for ACS now, as Laverty, Cunningham, and Moore, and now Moore finally breaks the string. To Joe Liebel, tipped away by Bussey, who's going to get a foul. Well, that was a good call, as Chris Bussey reached in, but we saw him right in front of our table to make some definite contact with his elbow as he tipped that ball away. So a good call by the officials. Joe Liebel to the line, and now Liebel wants to have a word with his coach, Gary Arthur. He is satisfied that he's got a few instructions that Arthur wanted to give. Here's a shot around the rim once, twice, and back down in. So on the bonus situation, as that was the 5th foul on ACS, Liebel will get another attempt from the line. 50-36. He'll try to make it 50-37. He can't do it. High in the air for the rebound is Bussey as he battles Sneed. And again, Bussey blocked him out real effectively, Al.
Well, there's the difference between a senior and a sophomore, and the man with experience, the man with the growing experience. So Sneed's going to learn.
Foul called against Homer again. I think this time it's going to go against John Liebel. It does. Cunningham will go to the line, and with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining, we're going to cut you off on that trivia question right now. And we'll give you the answer to that trivia question. So no more calls, please. Here comes Hoffman and Tooley into the ball game for ACS. Well, Al Whitehurst, the current U.S. Senator that was once a member of the NBA. And which team did he play for?
Well, he was a Rhodes Scholar. He played his college ball at Princeton, but he played for the New York Knickerbockers, and his name was Senator Bill Bradley.
Senator Bill Bradley has been named by a lot of people as a future president of the United States.
Well, he'll get my vote.
He is a brilliant scholar and a good writer. He wrote a couple of interesting books as well. Here's Tooley with the rebound, and he'll kick it back to Cunningham to bring it across the line. Senator Bill Bradley was one of the funniest guys. He had one of the most dry sense of humor. He used to love Mama Leone's restaurant in New York. Here's Bussey on the drive, and he takes it right to Sneed, and Sneed just looks over at the Homer bench in frustration like, what am I going to do? Here's a shot by Holcomb. It goes down. 53-38 ACS. 1 minute remaining in the ball game. We've got a timeout called by Homer. This time we will take a short break and come back with the final 57 seconds in just a minute right after this word.
Hungry? Call now. Hollywood all-night pizza.
Well, Al, Senator Bill Bradley once described something at the free throw line. He would get fouled, and there was a critical ball game. They were down by 1. He had 2 shots, and he said, I'd dribble the ball, and I'd dribble it, and I'd dribble it, and I'd rear back, and I'd throw it into the crowd 20 feet over the basket just to listen to the New York Knicks fans roar. I mean, he really had an imagination.
Well, he also used to pull a lot of jokes on his favorite teammate there, Mr. Cazzie Russell. But you have to remember, Bill and Cazzie were #1 and being picked coming out of college for the Knicks. So there was a little sentiment there. But they wound up on the same ball club. Great years for the Knicks.
Full court press being applied by the Homer Mariners now, and Hoffman looks like he's going to draw the foul from John Liebel.
That's why I was really privileged living in New York and seeing a lot of Knick ball games, especially the '69 and the '73 championship years. But Bill and Cazzie had good times together.
Bradley says, hey, so we shouldn't raise the baskets to 12 feet. Lower them to 8 feet. Let's recruit midgets. Cut a hole in the floor. Hey, little guy, want a Cadillac?
That's right. He was great.
Hoffman makes good on his free throw.
There you go.
Oh, big check against Mojo and Mojo meets Gary Sneed.
Well, if Mojo can give Gary some of his weight.
Rebound to Cunningham in underneath. And now a foul is going to go against John Liebel again, and I believe that will be number 3 on John. Now checking into the ballgame, Lance Bailey for Homer. 38 seconds remain. ACS has effectively put it away, and I mean very effectively, as they have come up with a very impressive victory here, Al, against the Homer boys. They are now lead 54-38, and Kleindieter about to check in for Kyle Kleindieter about to check in for ACS.
Well, Chuck, looking at the scoring also tonight, ACS has shot, and Mr. Cunningham just bailed me out of that. They look like, according to my scores, they've shot almost a good 75% from the line.
Right? It looks like Tony Mattingly is going to get some playing time here for ACS as well. This is Tony. Mother Marilyn approves across the way, obviously. So Kleindieter and Bones, if you will, Tony Mattingly, as he is affectionately called by his teammates. 3-point attempt by the young man that just came into the ball game. Bailey can't get it. Tipped back up, tipped up again. This time Mojo tips it out of bounds. And it'll go to Homer right under their bucket. 29 seconds remain now. Second string for ACS in the ball game now as Randy Dunton concedes that he has put it away. Big Gary Sneed on the follow gets fouled by Mojo. Muldrow, Kleindieter, Mattingly, Hoffman, and Tooley in the game now for ACS. Sneed makes it 56-39, and I think that's his first free throw.
You're
tonight.
correct there, big partner. That's his first one.
He is now 1 for 5. Make it 2 for 6 for Gary Sneed at the line. Kleindieter. Mattingly, the pass into Tooley, and Sneed checks Tooley's shot away. Tooley goes down, but he's going to be all right. He'll go to the line for the free throw as the foul goes against Sneed. That's his 4th on the night.
Sitting the line for 2, number 42, Darren Tooley.
Darren Tooley, I don't believe has any points on the night, Al.
No, has at least a 0 in the book so far.
He is now 0 for 1 from the line. Let's see if he can make it 1 for 2. I'll bet he does. No, he can't get it. Here's Tooley with a rebound. Tries to put it on the floor. Gets tied up. Follows. Can't get it. Mojo with a rebound, and he puts his shot up, and Mojo's going to get a chance to get his name in the paper tomorrow in the scoring column. Sean Muldrow, of course.
No, Chuck, check that one. I think they're calling Sean for traveling.
All right, well. John thought he was going to get a free throw, and I think everybody else did too, but obviously one of the officials overruled him. Here's a three-point attempt by Holcomb. Tony Mattingly saves the basketball from going out of bounds. 2 seconds remain. This ball game is all but over. Long pass down the court to Mattingly. He gets the shot away too late. The buzzer goes, and that'll do it tonight here for the ball game. We'll come back with our answer to our trivia question.